I never thought the sound of a door locking could break my heart. For 40 years that house had been my world. Every photo on the wall, every scratch on the kitchen table whispered a story of the life I built there. And yet, there I was standing on the porch, holding a grocery bag in my hand, realizing my key no longer turned the knob. At first I thought it was a mistake. Maybe the lock had jammed, or I'd grabbed the wrong key. But then I saw the lights inside, her car in the driveway, and a curtain move ever so slightly. That's when it hit me, this wasn't an accident. Someone had decided I no longer belonged in my own home. And it wasn't a stranger, it was my son's wife. And in that silence I felt something break. Not the lock but me. That was the day I realized. Sometimes losing your home isn't about walls or doors. It's about losing your place in someone's heart. Before she came into our lives, my son and I were a team. After his father passed, it was just the two of us. Quiet dinners, long talks on the porch, and Sunday mornings where we'd laugh about nothing at all. I wasn't just his mother, I was his home. When he met her, I was happy for him, truly. She was charming, polite, and I remember thinking, finally someone who'll care for him the way I always did. I remember the day she surprised us with a homemade pie. The three of us laughing in the kitchen. I thought maybe this is what healing feels like. For a while everything felt right. But slowly things began to change. The first time she said, "You should really knock before coming in." She smiled, but her eyes didn't. That's when privacy started to sound like a wall. The dinners grew shorter, the laughter quieter, and the porch lights stayed off. My son began to visit less. And when he did, she was always there. Not beside him but between us. I told myself it was just adjustment, that every family needs time to find balance. But one night, stirring his favorite stew, I realized I wasn't cooking for family anymore. I was cooking for permission. Pause. And soon even that would be taken from me. The next morning, the tension that had been quietly simmering came to a boil. I woke to an empty house, the air heavy with the scent of coffee and something unspoken. As I moved toward the front door, my heart skipped a beat. The key I had trusted for decades refused to turn. Panic and disbelief washed over me. I knocked gently, hoping it was a mistake. No answer. My hands trembled as I realized this was deliberate. She had changed the locks. The home that had been my sanctuary, the place where my children had grown and my late husband's laughter still echoed in the corners, had become a stranger's territory overnight. I could hear faint footsteps inside, the shuffle of furniture, a door closing somewhere deep within. My mind raced. Should I call my son, confront her, beg for entry? And then as I stood there, something shifted inside me. Anger, yes, but also clarity. This house wasn't just wood and nails. It was mine, not because of legal papers, but because of every memory, every meal, every tear, and every laugh that had filled these rooms. And if she thought she could erase that, she was in for a surprise. And what I did next would change everything. By the next morning I had made up my mind. I wouldn't scream, beg, or fight. I didn't need to. Instead, I moved with quiet purpose. I packed a small box with the things she had left scattered around the house. Her trinkets, her shoes, a scarf she had forgotten on the couch. I carried them outside, one by one, placing them carefully on the lawn for all to see. The sun was just rising, casting long shadows across the grass. I took a deep breath as I stepped back and looked. It wasn't anger I felt anymore. It was calm, deliberate justice. I had built this life and no one could take it away. Later, she opened the door, expecting to find me gone, defeated, or apologizing. Instead, she froze. Her eyes widened as they fell on her scattered belongings, a silent message in every carefully placed item. This is not your house to command. I watched from the porch, quiet but unyielding, as the realization slowly dawned on her. By midday, the household had settled into an uneasy silence. My son finally arrived, expecting to find me upset, angry, or begging for forgiveness. For a moment, none of us spoke. Then he looked at me, shock, guilt, and understanding crossing his face. I didn't need to explain. The message was clear. This house, these memories, this life, they belonged to me and no one could take that away. Later, as he helped me inside, there was an unspoken agreement. Things wouldn't be the same, but boundaries had been drawn. The daughter-in-law retreated, her authority quietly dismantled, and a subtle tension replaced the chaos that had threatened our home. For the first time in weeks, I felt a profound sense of peace. The air seemed lighter, the walls no longer oppressive, and my heart no longer racing at the thought of coming home. I had reclaimed not just my house, but my dignity, my voice, and my place in my family. Looking back, I realized that family isn't just about proximity or possession. It's about respect, understanding, and the spaces we hold for each other in our hearts. Life will test us with change, loss, and people who try to overstep boundaries. But even in the face of betrayal or exclusion, dignity and self-respect can never be taken if you claim them for yourself. That morning when I placed her things on the lawn, I wasn't just asserting control over a house. I was reclaiming my voice, my memories, and my place in the family I helped raise. And that is something no one can ever take away. If there's one thing I want you to remember, it's this: your home, your heart, your life, they belong to you. Stand firm, hold your boundaries, and never let anyone make you feel small in your own story.